Welcome to this look at a new mod map on Farming Simulator 22 with me, MrSealyp. Ladies and gentlemen, for this map tour, I'm lost in the mountains. This is by Grimlock RRC, 171.14 megabytes download. There are 3 required mods: the Sawmill by ZoddelZockt, the Biotank by Grimlock RRC, and the Lizard 6205 pack also by Grimlock RRC. There are 20 collectibles. Now in the description it does say 20 cartridges, but they are not. They are mini vache. You'll see as we go round. We start off here in the town. Contracts are available. There's no additional crop types. We'll talk about slot count when we get up to the main farm. That would make more sense, I think. The map looks like this. It's a fairly small map. It's really nice, really pretty, really picturesque. On New Farmer, we start with the main farm area, which is here. Now, be warned, on Farm Manager and Start from Scratch, you don't start with the land. And because, well, I say because, you don't start with the land. You also don't start with any of the buildings, which also then means you don't start with the cow pastures that are there. You don't start with the beehives. You don't start, there's a water tower. So none of that. So again, just be warned. I mean, the pastures are available for you to place, so you can put them down afterwards, but they're not there off the start. Field prices or plot prices aren't too bad at all. There's no verges periphery. There's lots of bits of woodland you can do around as well. The main town is down here to the south, which we're going to have a quick whiz round, then we'll head up the mountain itself to look at the farm. Like I say, it's a really nice map, this one. I say that every time. But it is, and I'm liking it. So we're going to whiz out on foot to start off with. We've got the bakery just around the back here. This is a French map. Well, I say it's a French map. I mean, everything's in French, so let's go with that. It does say it's completely fictional location, set in the mountains by a river, but you know, you'll see, because all the writing and text and stuff like that is in French. So, and if we whiz around the back here, I'm wondering if they're still going to be here. When I did my map prep, there were 2 people just stood. It was like they were getting ready to a race. Oh, there's only one. Oh, they're all there. That's not good, is it? If I just walked in on a duel or something. That's quite scary. Yeah, they were stood next to each other here, and it looked like they were just about to start on a sprint or something, but that's far more sinister. I'm not sure I like that. This is the supermarket, and then we come around to the vehicle shop and workshop, which is just here. This is also the reset point of the map, which is actually quite handy, because one of the pieces of equipment we do start with is a pickup. So I'm going to reset the pickup from the farm up the top down to here, and then we can get around the map. So bear with me while I just get the pickup. That'll do nicely. Thank you very much. Under build mode, we'll have a look in there as well. We do have some under sheds as well as the required mod. So Lost in the Mountains, got a couple of sheds there. We have got under silos. That's all part of the Sawmill mod, which is one of the required mods. But we've got that one, the old silo, 250,000 litre. That is a standard crop type, not a multi-fruit. We've then got under containers. That one there, the wind pump. That's basically a water station, but it's a little wind pump water station. That's up the top, which we'll have a look at in a little while as well. We've got under production and greenhouses. Lost in the Mountains greenhouse. Little allotment garden, which you'll see. And then we've got under animals and cows. As I was saying, we've got pastures. There's 2 pastures there. Each one 10 grand, each one holds 60. They're both up on the hill on New Farmer, but not on Farm Manager and Start from Scratch, but they are available. I like that look. That reminds me very much of Italia Demo. That had a couple of pastures up on the tops of hills that were kind of open. And yeah, liking that a lot. So that was it. That's it for under build mode. No vehicles or machinery. So let's grab our pickup and let's head round, shall we? So, out through the town. So a lot of people, not much, if any, traffic actually. I don't think I've seen any at all. We'll take this fork here. I'm going to do something a little bit dodgy later on. When I say dodgy, I mean it's just the route I need to take. Through carpentry, which is just here. Actually, what I'm going to do Just to double check, because the sawmill I did purchase, and that's got some additions to it. So I'm going to check the carpentry just to make sure. So I'm just going to put some. Actually, do I need to put some money in for this? Let's have a look. No, not at the moment. So let's do that. Furniture wood and furniture planks, fairly standard. I will put some money in later on so we can buy the sawmill, so I can show you that. So actually, carpentry just there. It does say the map is compatible with DLC. I should have DLCs and precision farming. If we drive along a little bit further, so I find a little bit of a softer landing. We've got not an escarpment per se here, but a rocky sort of cliff top. Again, this reminds me very much of Sussex Farms. There's elements of that I'm getting. It's yeah, bit of Fellsbrunn. There's all sorts going on. So I don't want to do it this way because we were up the top by the sawmill anyway. And rather than backtracking, we can then come back through the town, taking the sell points and stuff as we go. So we've got restaurant sell point here, just by the river. Lovely and picturesque for an evening out. We've got a gas station to our left, and to our right we've got one of the required mods, and this is the biotanks. So the biotanks is a sell point. If you've got surplus of these things, so if you've got slurry, if you've got manure, if you've got some digestate, any of those products as well, herbicide, liquid fertilizer, solid fertilizer or seed, you can bring it here and you can sell it. Or if you're producing it, of course, it might be you've set yourself up a facility where you're making those products and you've got a place here you can bring it and sell it. I'm assuming they buy it off you and then they'll sell it on to other people. That would make sense, wouldn't it? Next door we've got the warehouse sell point, that's just there. Now the previous map tour, I thought I was going mad, the previous map tour I did on Bilk had one of these. And in my head, so when you go up to that, that's the sell wood icon. There you go, look, sell wood comes up. On the Bilk map tour, when I went up to that, nothing came up. And then I started doubting myself, thinking, that is what that's for, isn't it? Because I was thinking, I just went into a bit of a panic. But no, that's what it's supposed to do, let's sell wood. So this is the warehouse sell point. You can bring all sorts of stuff here, including wood, as you can see. Right, hop that. And we shall continue out of the town then. Gain some elevation. Gain some perspective. We can get up the side of the mountain that way, but just for the sake of I say a more sensible route. It depends how you view it. So if we turn here, and then the next hairpin back on ourselves, and then we'll go for a bit of a drive, which will bring us round up the mountain to the farm. There's only the one farm. It's a small map, small field work, small machinery. It's hilly. It's going to be a challenging map, especially if you're hauling stuff. I mean, to be fair, I say most of it depends. Again, it depends which way you go. But I'm thinking if you're farming up on the mountain and you're taking it down to the sell points, you're going to be heavy going down, which is going to require a lot of serious braking. You shouldn't be hauling too much uphill, but again, you never know. You might do. So, come around the sides here and we come into the farm with our start machinery and equipment. I'll leave the engine running, so I always turn it off. So, slot count, we'll talk about that now. 918, 918 on New Farmer. On Farm Manager and Start From Scratch, it's 842. And as I said, interestingly, you start with all the equipment and machinery, you don't start with any of the buildings. I'm just going to whiz up on the hillside because it will just make more sense, just for a moment. So from looking up here, when you come onto a Farm Manager and Start From Scratch, it will look like this. Which means you do have a bale and pallet storage there, which is 250 bales of pallets. That obviously will be gone, that won't be available. In here, in the barn, we have got some front loader gear, we've got a harvester and header trailer, we've got our fent favret, forage wagon, we do have Plough, cultivator, seeder, planter. We do have our mowing equipment, so we've got a rear mower, we've got a windrower and tedder, or tedder and windrower. We've got our Grimlock RRC 6205 just here, looking rather cool. Fuel tank, that's a 5,000 litre, I think it is. 5,000 litre fuel tank, and then that silo that I was talking about, 250,000 litre, but that is standard crop type just there. Actually, I'm going to grab the pickup. Trailer just around the side of the building. Actually, we drove past it, but it's a terrible view. Look, there you go. You've got a trailer just there. Carrying on, just past the bale and pallet storage is your farmhouse. Now this is where the pickup is parked. Obviously I reset it back, but that's where it's parked when you start on the map, so this is where it will be. Sleep trigger, wardrobe trigger just here. I remember reviewing this mod because I went up on the roof, didn't I? I couldn't get to the steps because you can't go in the house, but I jumped over and up into the top there to watch for zombies, if I recall correctly. So that's your farmhouse, sleep trigger and wardrobe trigger. And we've got the little open garden allotment greenhouse just here, put in by the map maker. Just requires water, but we can do tomato, lettuce and strawberries. That's all required in is water. So you can place more of those if you want, or again, with any map, anything you want from the mod hub, of course. We're going to swing round here and carry on up the hill. The next point we come to is the water pump, water tower. So there's our water tower. There's our icon for getting it. We've got a little water tank here as well. It's empty at the moment. We can go up into here. There you go, water in the tank. Now that also is not here on new farm. Farm Manager will start from scratch. So as well as the buildings down there, you won't have the water tower here either, but it's available to place if you want to. We carry on up this little track here. We've got beehives, so we do start with some beehives, and our point for our honey. Now the collectibles, as I said, le petit vache. I'm sorry if you're French, and I'm sorry if I've said that wrong, but these are the collectibles. How cool are they? And they're dotted around. Now, I'm going to get a couple of these, and I'll explain why later on, but we hover over that, it says collect. That one's worth 45 grand. We are going to continue up on the hill. To the two pastures, which are just up here. There is another mini vache just up here. Where was it? In front of one of these. So I'm going to grab that as well. They're all different values, I think. Yeah, that one's only 35,000. So we're up here on the pasture. And if you go just a little bit further down the hill, you can look back towards the farm just there. If we carry on a little bit further, I mean, these are like, when I do map tours, I'll try and show features, things that stand out, whatever it might be a nice view, something like that. It's not always just sell points and things like that. But if we go across here, there's a lovely little chapel with stained glass windows. It's one of those things that you know, unless you force yourself to wander out here, this really isn't sort of farmland per se. If you're hunting for the little cows, there's some grassland, but you wouldn't necessarily come out here. But that's just fantastic. And there's another spoiler alert here. The other two are straightforward and obvious. You're going to find them. If you don't come over here, you wouldn't know. But there is one on the roof here as well. Look. Which I think if I go from this corner, we can jump up there. We go. So let's collect that one as well. Also 35,000. But there's a lovely view over the town. Just to prove that we are properly lost in the mountains. Back to the pickup, and we shall continue. There's not much left to see. And like I say, it's a fairly small map. I'm now racking my brains thinking, if I was going to be placing these little cows, where would I put them? I mean, I probably would have put a load just up here in the pasture as a kind of amusing, you know, all these little mini cows. Or put 2 or 3 of them lined up against a trough or something, feeding, or, you know, silly things like that. You know, that's just the way my mind works. But anyway, down the hill, back towards the garden, and then we're going to take a right. It was a right, wasn't it? Was just here. Follow this track out. We're heading out to the Cascade Falls. There's a lovely set of waterfalls. There's a sell point called Cascade Silo. I think it's this way. Like I said, no traffic I've come across, but lots of people out walking. Oh, blimey. Keep doing it, looking at my notes and not where I'm driving. I need a head-up display, that's what I need. There we go. The falls in front of us with the Cascade Silo sell point just coming up. There's a little archway and a walk that goes through out to a lovely little picnic area. Again, it's just a feature of the map. There's your sell point just there. If we go through here, there you go. Some benches and Cascade Falls is there. There might be some cows. I haven't looked, I'm just saying. Again, if I was going to put one, maybe I would put one somewhere that's going to require a bit of hunting, you know. Anyway, back to the pickup and then up to the last couple of sell points. First one being the Sawmill, and I've just realised what I've forgotten to do. I'll buy it anyway. I'm thinking this is the same with or without Platinum Expansion on. We're going to find out, aren't we? How much was this to buy? 125. Got enough? There we go. Wood beams, wood planks, wood planks, wood beams. So those are the various different things we can run with various different recipes. But this is what we get out. Beams, wood chips, bark mulch, planks, other planks, and wood beams. So there's a whole load more than just planks coming out of this one. If forestry is your thing and you want to give it a go. So that's your Sawmill. Then we finish off at the animal dealer. Now the reason I was picking up, other than the fact you get paid for them, which is very nice, but the reason I was picking up the Le Petit Vache is because here at the animal dealer we've got this little stall outside, which is the souvenirs, €10, made in France, and there you go. The 3 that I collected are up on the shelving, so as you collect them they will appear here on the shelving. Here's your dialogue box. See, the other thing I thought as well, I would have put a couple in here with the cows at the animal dealer, just, you know, that's not so there aren't any, I just haven't seen one, but well, that might be quite amusing as well. And that is the map. That's Lost in the Mountains by Grimlock RRC. If we go back to our map, so we started off at the town here. We went out to there, to the carpentry. We then went along and came down past that field and came back that way. Back out there, and then we took this fork, that fork, and we came all the way around up there. Through the farm and then up onto the hillside where the pastures and the beehives were. We then came back down from there and we followed that track round to there. Then we followed all the way around there to the falls there, Sawmill, animal dealer. And from here we can follow the road round. I mean, I'll head off that way as we leave, but it just follows us back round the fields and we kind of wind our way back round. But from here you could have, when we took that road round and went out towards the falls, if you turned right there rather than the hairpin, you could drive back down and come back down into the town that way if you'd wanted to. So that's it. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free, and if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. As always, thanks for watching.